Top thing people miss about childhood.
Is it the satisfaction of bellowing, "I'm finished," and somebody coming up and wiping your ass?
I did that today. My daughter could quite easily do that herself. But she says, "I'm ready, I'm ready."
Ready, hang on, I'm trying to read Grazia, Mum. Get on with it.
Is it limitless possibilities? My mother told me when I was a kid, she asked me what did I want to be when I grow up, and I told her I wanted to be a fire engine. This is fucking crazy, but a part of me still wants to.
Have 6 firemen ride you.
Oh, yeah.
No, I miss most of all scabs.
Yeah.
I get 2 to 3 hours out of a couple of scabs. To me, it was the PlayStation of my day. Get a scab, you just get it going and lift it right off, just so it's almost sort of hanging off like a saucepan lid. Just keep flicking it.
Did yours taste like bacon?
No.
I miss maths homework.
You're literally the only person in the world.
Do you know what I like about being young and small, anyway, is that there's no small talk. No sort of chat about how are you, what are you up... People come up to me now and say, what have you been up to? I think, well, what do you think? Eat, sleep, drink, I killed a moth, whatever. When you're 9, you go cycle around to your mate's house, you knock on the door, you go, do you want to come for a bike ride? And he doesn't say anything, he just goes, no. And you go, all right.
Top thing people miss about childhood.
Playing out?
Playing in the street.
That's the right answer. Yes, the top thing people miss about childhood is playing in the street. When I was a kid, we used to play swing rope, bin finger, knicker chase, hop, snatch, crack. It was just a more innocent time. OK, next one. All right. Worst thing you can do on a date. What's your date?
Is it celebrate your 3-minute anniversary? Woo! Congratulations! You must have been on a lot of dates, you know this.
I've had some nightmare dates. I went out on a first date a while back, actually, and this is honest to God truth. And it was going quite well. Got into some conversation about scars, bizarrely, and we're saying, oh, what's your biggest scar? And I'm like, oh, I got a scar on my arm. They're like, what about you? And she said, mine's internal. I was like, what? She goes, yeah, I was having sex with this guy a while back, and he was so well endowed, he ruptured me inside. There's more. She goes, I went to hospital, I almost died. How self-assured do I look? I'm like, I can't promise that, but I'll do my best.
Can I take this opportunity to apologise?
What I like to do, first date, first thing, go over Chinese burn. And then I lay out all the photos of them going to and from work for the last 2 weeks. And I go, don't like those shoes, they'll have to go.
Take your mum.
That is the right answer.
Wow.
Yes, the worst thing you can do on a date is bring your parents. I took my girlfriend on a date and my parents just happened to be there. I say date, it was my nana's funeral. There was food and booze and everyone got dressed up. What does she want?
The James Bond film that's premiered today or tomorrow or yesterday.
Friday.
Let's not fall out over it. We're not invited. There's no gadgets in this one, is there?
No,
There's not many gadgets.
They're ripping off the Bourne Identity.
Yeah.
The Bourne Identity did it! It's James Bond. He should have an umbrella coming out of his ass. Sickening.
Nikki, are you looking forward to the Bond movie?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm not a big Daniel Craig fan.
You're not?
No, I think Bonds just shouldn't be blonde.
He shouldn't be blonde?
I see Bonds as being a bit more dark-haired and a bit more rugged.
A bit more dark hair, a bit more rugged?
Yeah.
But Daniel Craig's from Liverpool. Well, he grew up on the Wirral, didn't he? I think, and he's lost that accent. Don't you think that'd make a better Bond? The name's Bond. James Bond. Fucking Smirnoff Ice, you prick.
Yes, the new James Bond film is out this week. Every woman wants him, every man wants to be him, with his steely eyes, incredible physique and his chiseled features. It's impossible not to look at Sean Locke and think, this guy should be Bond.
You're probably right.
Yeah. Daniel Craig got a gash on his face whilst filming. I suppose that's one of the perks of being Bond, isn't it? OK. One more thing to get. Something happening this week. Go on. Ooh.
Asthma.
Is it?
Is it the asthma? It's gone rocketed up.
Halloween.
Halloween. Halloween. Come on, say it with me.
Halloween.
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 Go on.
It's Halloween. And,
That's all you can say, really, isn't it?
Basically, it's happening. And all the kids come and knock on your door every 5 minutes asking for sweets, which is like a takeaway service for paedophiles. It's a bit weird.
I think what they did was they sat down with all the paedophiles and they agreed that on Halloween they'd have a kind of ceasefire. Say, OK, for one day of the year, can you stop your tampering ways? Let the kids go have a bit of fun, we can all relax.
When I was a kid with trick-or-treating, right, if someone said trick or they didn't answer the door but you knew they were in, right, you would maybe egg their house or, you know, throw a bit of toilet roll through the trees or whatever. But I read the other day that one of the tricks this year is burning people's cars. That's not a trick, that's a crime, isn't it? It's not a trick or military coup.
Yes, it's Halloween. What a lot of the local kids don't realise is I was planning on covering my house with toilet paper anyway, so the joke's on them. So, those are the 5 most talked about things this week. In other news, they're saying the credit crunch spells a return to the 1970s. I haven't done my French homework. Did you know, for example, an iguana can stay underwater for 28 minutes or longer if you don't mind it dying? Per square inch of head, people with red hair have 750 fewer friends than other people. Forgot we had one in. And 93% of all greeting cards are purchased by women. Well, if they made a "I'm bored with you, but I can't be bothered to leave you" card, maybe we'd buy more. Let's get started. Jason, what do you think the top 5 most talked about things in Britain are this week?
Well, we've got one person who's been talked about all week right here, haven't we? Louis Walsh over there has been talked about on the old X Factor on Saturday. Everybody's going crazy about it.
I voted somebody out.
Yes.
But I kept somebody as well.
Who did you keep?
I kept Ruth.
Is she Titty Spaniard?
Yeah, exactly. She was the best in the sing-off.
She's the best Titty Spaniard I've ever seen.
That's what Simon thinks
Last
too.
night I dreamt of San Pedro.
Jimmy, this is She deserved to stay. The other girl, bad song, hiding behind the piano, badly styled. I had to vote somebody out. If everybody cared so much about Laura, why didn't they vote for her so?
Well, if there was any way that they could, they would have.
You lift your phone and you dial.
You lift your phone and you dial?
Yeah.
Oh, like in the olden days?
Yeah. Jimmy, there's 4 good girls left.
That's no way to talk about JLS. Do you think it's gone a bit too far? Because there were questions asked in the House of Commons this week.
About Laura being voted off?
Yeah, isn't that ridiculous?
Well, you know, you were up at Jonathan Ross's house. He was mentioned in the House of Commons as well, so...
The world's gone mad.
Yeah,
Well, there's
absolutely.
nothing else in the news, really.
There's nothing else in the news except celebrities.
Yeah, there's no economic disaster or...
No.
I think David Cameron mentioned something about something that happened in an episode of Pingu the other day. He said there's no way to slip through that ice. In July, maybe, but not in November. I have thought about going on the X Factor, but the problem is all my family are healthy, my dad hasn't been in prison, I wasn't bullied, you know. I mean, no use. When you think about it, what the X Factor does, it takes people's sort of domestic tragedies and kind of turns them into qualifications. Like, your mum's dead, your dog's got cancer, you're going to have a hit. Is that unfair?
You...
And I like Danny Minogue on it because everyone gets very emotional about it, and she's so professional because she never shows any emotion, does she? That's the sign of a real professional. How does she manage that, Lou?
I think it's something to do with Botox.
Oh, no, you didn't!
I like the first few episodes, they're my favourites. The first few episodes when there's the proper head the balls on. You know what I mean? Like the proper nutters, though. Like, they could really shorten it, you know, for me. Like, proper have people just going along the queue going, where are you from? Leeds. Where are you from? Hull. Where are you from? Narnia! All right, you're in. Go. Next one.
I feel sorry for them all.
That's how I feel when I watch Corrie. Kayvan, you do a lot of voices on Phone Jacker.
Yes.
Would you consider
On
doing...
the X Factor.
Yeah?
Maybe I could do a name that tune right now. Nice. They touch your body. Everybody. Everybody like me. Oh.
I didn't think anyone could make that song gayer than George Michael, but you own that.
I thought of going there. There's another scandal, wasn't there? There's one of the girls who was given a week off because she had laryngitis.
Yeah,
I don't think
Diana.
that's wrong. You get a week off. Freddie Mercury had AIDS. He carried on singing.
Let's have a look and see whether the X Factor is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, it is the third most talked about thing this week.
The biggest waste of time would have to be debobbling jumpers. It's a waste of time because once a jumper's bobbled, that's it. It's always going to bobble. So the most you're going to get an hour without any bobbles on it. You get all the bobbles off, you think you've got a nice jumper again, and it just starts to bobble within, I'd say, less than an hour. It's probably pretty much starts straight away. You can't see it. You can't see it. But it's happening all the time. They're just bubbling up. So that is the biggest waste of time. Just accept the fact, once it's bobbled, it's over.
Correct answer. Yeah.
Thank you. Great.
Is it phoning up to complain about something you've not seen or heard just because other people are doing it?
Oh, yes.
I think we made that point. It's funny, but...
Brushing of teeth before bed. I know it's good. I know there are some positives, but I don't think it really... There's something about breath in the morning. It seems to be unavoidable. It's just hideous. I mean, my wife brushes her teeth like... She gets like a toothpaste beard. I mean, she really goes for it. But in the morning, it's just unbelievable. I don't know... And it doesn't help that everything begins with H as well. Hello. How did you sleep?
I like the fact that you in the morning, you and your wife, hello, hello.
Sorry. How do you start the day with your wife?
Well, we share...
Get up!
No.
Get up!
Is it the record of achievement file you had at school? That burgundy folder, every teacher went, you'll need this forever. Have you ever been to one interview where they've asked for it? Never.
In fairness, yours was very good, and that's how you got this job.
That's it.
When you're leaving a message, they kept having to go through that, to listen to your message, press 1. To re-record your message, press 2. What is all this? I mean, it's like... People leaving a message are not cutting an album. It's do people actually listen to it again? Do people do that? Do they say, darling, I'll be 5 minutes late. Do we need milk? OK, play it back. OK, let's go one more time on that. Do you know what other function winds me up? Is drafts. Who drafts text messages? Who works on a text message throughout the week? Who takes a country cottage going, I'm working on this text at the moment. I've been through several drafts. It's not ready.
Safety announcements on planes. Utterly pointless, isn't it? If he's going to crash, adopt the brace position, because when you're found dead, it'll look like you're trying to blow yourself.
What do you want, though? You don't want to get in a plane and they just go, let's go.
Is it buying Friends on DVD? It's on telly more than the news, isn't it?
All right, you're close with Friends.
Is it Waiting for Friends?
That's the right answer.
Oh,
The biggest waste of time is waiting for friends. Friends are like buses. You wait ages for one to show up, and then they never do show up. You have to walk home alone in the rain. OK. Best thing about life in Britain.
Is it the moonlight glistening off a broken shopping trolley in a canal, reflecting off a dead dog's eyes?
It's almost like a Beatles lyric.
You're never more than 500 miles away from Stephen Fry. I met him once. It was like hanging out with Google.
Life in Britain is just brilliant. I mean, I don't know why, but people just love it. And you sense this when people go on holiday. We tend to book holidays for 2 weeks, but then we all have this theory that, well, 10 days would have been enough, you know? We went for 2 weeks and we had a great time. The hotel was great and it was just fantastic. But, you know, after 10 days, you just want to get back to your shit life, don't you?
That's usually because you've found another British couple and they keep following you. sort of make friends on the first 2 days, and then you try and couple dump them for the rest of the time. Yeah, we'll meet you by the restaurant. Will we? Thought.
OK. Is it the incredibly high standards set by the BBC? I've been away.
Jodie, what do you think? What's the best thing about life in Britain?
I was about to say Strictly.
Yeah.
Oh, how's John Sargent still in it? He can barely walk. Rich, you live here, and you...
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, you live here. What do you like about it?
No one says have a nice day to you, because it's not possible. Your dreams and your hopes and your optimism, all these great things that you have, and then you walk out of your house and a guy on a scaffold pees on your head.
I'll give you a clue. You can display them at the dinner table.
Your balls.
Your Nazi silverware.
Table manners.
Table manners, yeah, good manners is the right answer, I'll give you that. Yes, the best thing about life in Britain is good manners. And that was a survey of contemporary Britain conducted in 1873. What else have the nation been talking about this week?
Is it the government releasing these UFO files, or Operation Keep Everyone's Mind Off the Economy? Apparently, we're being visited by 11,000 UFOs or something. Only 5% are actually unidentified flying objects. The rest are like planes and stuff like that. And I think they can be sort of whittled down to 5% of people are mental. Yeah. There was one bloke who spotted a UFO land on a bypass in Somerset, right? It landed. 2 figures got out, dressed in black, and one of them checked the engine. Who is flying at light speeds to get here? One of them's gone, oh, cam belt's gone.
People never spot these things in, like, London.
Yeah.
Or Paris, or anywhere where people are generally looking up at great things. Like, there's always someone looking up at the Eiffel Tower. And there's never been a single thing. It's always like Norwich. The only people they seem to target are people that are a bit weird with really shit camera equipment.
I've been abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
We all
Loads of times. I had to take out a restraining order. I put it up on my bedroom door. I heard them come upstairs and go...
What happened when you were abducted?
They said, do you know, where's Jimmy Carr live? We want to bring him home.
Let's have a look and see if UFOs are one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this week the Ministry of Defence have released files about past UFO sightings. I didn't want to admit I'd seen a UFO in case I was branded a nutter, said one nutter. OK, fingers on buzzers. What else have the nation been talking about? Sure.
George Osborne he's got himself into trouble because when Peter Mandelson was brought back into the government, he released some sort of comments that Peter Mandelson made, private comments.
He said he's been dripping poison, I believe, about Gordon Brown.
In response, Nat Rothschild has said that he was trying to solicit donations from a Russian billionaire, the richest man in Russia, which every Russian seems to be.
He said he met him twice and on this fella's yacht, but he never asked him for money, he said, which I think is fair enough, isn't it? I mean, you've met somebody twice and you're on their yacht. How do you even slip it like, oh, what's its top speed? Oh, brilliant. How many does it sleep like? Can I have 50 grand? Like, that in?
I feel sorry for the Russian. He's a billionaire. He's got a beautiful yacht moored in a beautiful harbour. He wakes up in the morning, turns to his butler, he goes, well, what's on the itinerary today? He goes, well, we've got Peter Mandelson, George Osborne coming on board. Are you serious? I want supermodels.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson and some floss.
I didn't even know what an oligarch was. I thought it was a sort of sea cow.
What is
I
it?
still don't.
It's like the body of a lion with a horse's head. Let's see if it's up there.